The other problem I had was with like the everyday life that's going on outside of basketball. Like you don't know what's going on out there until you get into it. So we played a team in Quadras and like Juarez.
Ooh.
Yeah, we played down there.
Ooh.
It's like they're telling me before I get. I've never experienced this before. So we played in a lot of places. I played in Chihuahua. So we're playing all over the place. We roll, we rock it, and we roll. We doing good. I'm probably like lead scorer in the league. You know, I'm basically right now I'm number one in the MVP race. Me and another guy that's in the league. So we go down to Juarez. They're the number one team in the league. So we go down there, and the guys are telling me how dangerous it is, how this and that, cartel this, cartel that. All I know is basketball. So I'm like, I'm not even listening, like, you know. But as I played in the league, I understood who owned these teams.
Welcome to another edition of For the Love of the Game. We are back again with starting off this new year right. Today we've got Coach Nico in the Fredericksburg, Virginia area. How you doing, Coach Nico?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Amen, amen. Do I get that city right? Is that where you from right about now?
I'm from Culpeper, but I live in Fredericksburg.
Okay, all right. There's a lot of great hoopers in Culpeper. There's a lot of great hoopers in Culpeper. For a little country town, there's a lot of great hoopers in Culpeper, man.
Yeah,
So
ain't nothing.
I've learned that firsthand. But Coach Nico, as we start off, we like to start off with everybody. We ask everybody the same question. Coach Nico, how and when did you fall in love with basketball?
Man, I don't know. It's been a long time. Like I grew up watching basketball, man. Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant era when they first was AI and Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The eight Kobe. So, great guys to look up to. It kind of gave me the feel for like what I wanted to probably do with my life, and you know, I just love the way they got down. So it just kind of gave me a something to look forward to, look up to, and I just kind of got into it. I was about, let me say, about 11, 10. Oh, when I first started to really take real interest into basketball.
Wow. That's older nowadays compared to when kids start, so that's a little bit of a late start. And you still you still reached high heights. Now tell me this is something we all want to know. What was it like being coached by Coach Fowler when he was a youngin'? Like
It was
what was
fun.
that like?
It was fun, but it was tough. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, he's not that much older than we were at the time. He was a younger coach.
Right.
So it was like it was tough. You know what I'm saying? We look at him almost as a peer, but we still had to respect him as the coach at the same time.
Right.
But it was fun and it was tough. And he took us a lot of places and he taught us a lot of valuable information along the way.
Now, Coach Fowler, you being just a little bit older than the rest of the guys, did you get an enforcer? Did you have an enforcer on the team to kind of have your back, or how'd you keep them in line?
No, they had each other's back. Oh, it was me against the world at that point. And I'll tell you what, the one I bumped the heads with the most is right here on this podcast too. Man, he's probably been off the team, on the team, off the team, on the team,
Yeah.
probably 20 times, man. No, it was good, but no, I think eventually they started realizing. I didn't really need an enforcer because I think eventually they just started realizing, like, man, we haven't experienced anything like this because this was before the shoe companies. This was before like the circuits really took off. So they're actually playing against the people that now would be on those circuits and are future NBA players and whatnot. I mean, Nico probably could tell you the number of NBA players that we've played against those couple years. So I mean, I think once they started realizing, like, yeah, he's just a little bit older than us, but he's taking us places we wouldn't be going. It didn't take long before I think they all kind of just got on board with it and realized that I was just there to try to help them.
Yeah.
Amen. Now, did y'all meet at JUCO or did you meet at AAU? Which one did y'all meet at?
AAU. It was the AAU tryout that we came to. Me and my cousin actually heard about AAU. Never heard of AAU a day in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Said it was a basketball tryout. So we was just like, all right, we played basketball every day, just at the park all day long from morning till dark time.
Yeah.
Never got tired of it. So we just kind of just found a way over to the gym. I think we might have rode bicycles over there. I'm not even sure. But we made a way over to the gym, and it just took off from there.
Oh wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I think they were, what y'all, what, about 13, 14 at the time, Nico?
Like that. To be honest with you, like that's really when I took interest into basketball seriously. But I always liked it. You know what I'm saying? But I've never played on a team a day in my life until I played on this team.
Wow, wow, wow. Now, what was the name of the team, and what city were y'all at in that? Was it still Culpeper?
It was SQBA, Frankie Lewis.
Yeah. Frankie.
Frankie Lewis was the one. Remember we had him on the show, Tony?
Okay,
Uh,
yes, yeah, he's a good guy.
it was SQBA. The jersey says something different, but
Mm.
but the name of the program was SQBA. It was the Shiznits, is what
Yeah.
they. Yeah, that's
That's the wildest, one of the wildest names I heard.
we weren't the Shiznits yet. Nico turned into a great ball player, but at the time he wasn't. He was just finding his length is what he was doing at that time. So we needed to work our way into the name Shiznits. So we had to switch that up.
Oh wow, 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 wow. Now, at that time, were y'all already traveling a lot, or were you traveling in Virginia, out of Virginia? What was the travel schedule for a team like that?
We
I
played.
think.
Go ahead, coach.
Go ahead, Nico. No, you the guest on the show, man. Go ahead and give what you remember. I'll fill in the
But
gap.
I'm proud of it, man. We played wherever the competition was. Coach didn't matter how good we was at the time. It's not about like nowadays. It's like they kind of look at your talent ability and try to put you somewhere where you would fit in and don't do so bad. Coach Fowler didn't care about none of that. We wanted to go where the rec was at, and you gonna win or you gonna lose. He put you in front of the fire. If you got burnt, you better cool off and be ready for the next game. But that's what built character and the type of players that we all turned out to be in the long run. Because if we never had the opportunity to face the type of competition that we faced, man, we would have never became the type of person that we needed to be to go to the lengths that we actually went.
Okay, okay. Now, Nico, I heard you're 6'7".
Yeah,
Was that accurate? So were you already starting center at that for that team, or what position was you playing?
not even close. I
Oh,
was just all along linky, kind of coordinated, a little bit of athleticism, but I just, I had potential from coach's perspective. You know what I'm saying?
right,
I had
right.
potential. I actually liked it, but I didn't even know what I had until later. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here, I'm listening to him. I'm just taking in belief in this to at this time deemed to be a stranger. So I'm believing in somebody who's telling me something about me that I've never heard from anybody in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I just took his word for it and I kind of built off that and just,
That's
started gradually, get the swing of my body control and just the game, get a feel for the game, learn how to operate and stuff like that.
And I
wow.
wasn't one that if you had height, you were a center either. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I was one that I wanted Nico to play on the wing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he fit more of a two guard or a small forward back then. Now it's just wing player, but I wanted him to play that position.
Mm.
So we had other guys that we would try to put at the post, but Nico, just because he was tall and linky, I didn't mean I wanted to put him in the post. I had him on the wing. So
Oh, cool, cool. Now, I'm both of y'all can talk about this. Is fine because I can imagine back then. Because I'm older, so I can imagine back then. People weren't bought off on AAU. People didn't know.
Tune in, like, and subscribe for the love of the game with Tony and David.
I first started hearing about AAU because I started losing my kids in my Sunday school class because they had AAU tournaments all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that was in late 1990s, early 2000s. That's when I started. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to dog y'all because I used to be like, AAU is the work of the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like because all I knew it was pulling people out of my Sunday school class.
Right.
But that's before I felt. That's before my kids are playing and everything else. So
Right. Right. Right.
and I was a nut at that time. But when y'all were first getting started, I guess there's two-sided questions. Coach Fowler, how did you when it was a new thing, how did you get the buy off from parents to go and take kids and go traveling here and doing all of this because parents back then they didn't. Parents know now what AAU is.
Yeah.
Parents back then, I don't think they knew the culture, and the culture wasn't as firm as it is today. And then Coach Nico, do you remember any like fun like I know y'all had to do some wild uh, uh, money funding things to like car washes or something like that in order to get the money to travel and everything. So can you tell us your funnest experience that you had trying to get all the ducats up to go travel?
Funnest,
Uh,
yeah, the type of the way I, at that point in my life, none of it was fun. But I can say the most like it was valuable. You know what I'm saying? As in hindsight, looking back at it, like I did a lot of car washes. We did bake sales. We just out talking to folks. We just trying anything under the sun to make it make sense for us so we can go where we needed to go.
right.
I've had a lot of growth experiences through these events because it challenged me as a person, not understanding what I was doing, but I knew I had to do it. But the person that I was at the time, I didn't really want to do, the things that are required to do that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't raised doing that type of stuff. So when I had to do it and I had an authority figure over me telling me I need to do this so I can do what I really want to do, which was just play basketball,
Right.
I didn't care about doing nothing other than just hooping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It put you out big time behind these fundraisers sometimes with me because of the type of person that I was. That's why it was more valuable than fun. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot of stuff through the confrontations that I probably caused, me being an adolescent in these situations and not understanding of what it took to be, what you say you really want to be. So I learned a lot in that, and it helped me later in my career to understand that you got to do what you don't want to do to support whatever it is you say you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to go.
And
Right.
the first time I kicked Nico off the team was at a car wash.
That I walk 4 miles home after that.
Yeah, and then he walked home, and his mama wasn't even mad at me. So, but
Hey,
no,
he didn't
parent.
tell me about that, Nico. He didn't tell me about that. I just imagined that had y'all had to get the money together, and I can imagine the work that had to be done in order for y'all to travel. And I didn't know about the getting kicked off and all the other stuff. But go ahead, Fowler.
Well, now let me tell you with this
Territory.
team, it was I think what they had to pay to play was $300.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we traveled, so it wasn't like, I mean, now you pay $1,500, $2,000 to play and travel to these things, and we traveled. But I will say that I came out of pocket a lot, a whole lot with these younger teams until I started kind of figuring out how to budget, how to solicit sponsors and get the fundraising game under control and things like that. So I did, but I was living at home with my mom at the time too, so it wasn't that big of a deal because I was probably 21, 20, 21 or whatnot, just getting back from college. So it wasn't that big. It wasn't that big a deal to me at the time to come out of pocket a little bit more. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure why the parents bought into what I was saying because I mean, I didn't have a great pitch.
Right.
These kids just wanted to hoop, man. Like Nico said, they just wanted to play, and they kind of vouched for me and was like, "Hey, he wants to take us. Can we go play?" And both, I mean, Nico and Ross, his cousin, they stayed with me a lot. I mean, they would spend the night before tournaments. They would go with me a lot of different places just because I would be their ride. We didn't have a lot of parent participation at the beginning, um, and so we would stay in hotel rooms, like 10 to a room. I mean, we would pay what we needed to pay, and everybody would bring some blankets, and we would just lay. I mean, and that's me included. I didn't get my own room because I was coach or whatever. Shoot, I mean, I went through the hustle and grind with them. Uh, so we would be 10 to a room in a hotel room. We would travel when we would borrow vans that from my sister and all kind of stuff just to get everybody where they needed to be. I mean, this was the true grind. This is not these spoiled kids nowadays that, staying in these luxury hotels and getting these nice meals and stuff like that. I mean, we really went through the grind of what AAU was
Yeah.
before, big money got a hold to it because we just made it work. I mean, how we made it work, sometimes I look back, I'm like, man, how did we do this? But we made it work.
Right.
And the parents bought in for some reason. But when they started seeing the results, I think that, they started realizing like, hey, however they got to do it, they got to do it.
And my experience too, as well, to chip in on what you're saying, why a lot of, I think from being a kid, a player at that point, for why a lot of people bought in, no one came to us with nothing. Like, for example, if someone shows interest in you for something other than what your parents can see in you, something that could help you out and do something that you love and take you to a greater heights. I mean, for me personally, like my parents, like they never cared about sports. They never even thought about no basketball or football or none of that type of stuff. My dad work is a working work, work, work. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So for
Right.
him to see them to see something different and people to actually take real interest into it, and it's not something just someone's trying to get something out of me. No one's asking me for a lot of money. It wasn't trying to get nothing out of me. It was just simply an opportunity for me to do what I say I wanted to do. And then the stuff that coach was taking us to, he was taking us to Florida State, all these different states, playing in front of these different competitions and these players, coaches inquiring about us. Our parents never probably dreamed of that happening for us. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't understand that was in our future. So high school a lot of times don't get to offer that type of action because when you play in certain districts, if it ain't really got too many great players in it, the coaches ain't really coming to see you play. So if we're playing against somebody that's really, really good or a tournament that got some coaches there, we get opportunity to kind of get to college, get a good look, and like further our lives in a different direction than we probably seen for ourselves.
Awesome. That is awesome. Now, as the team got more established, did you lose anybody to boo Coach Fowler, or did anyone go down?
Listen, man, that was probably a group of the most loyal kids in the world. I didn't have to worry about that. And Boo wasn't because it wasn't established like that yet. I mean, Boo was always established, but it wasn't like Boo was just running up and taking players or I don't want to say he's taking players now, but it wasn't like it is now. Like you didn't have to worry about that. I mean, what was the team? The Charlottesville Crusaders is the team that I had to worry about at the time. Um, but even they weren't going to tournaments like I was taking these kids to tournaments. Like the tournaments we were going to were far better than even what the Crusaders were doing. And so the kids, I know Bradley was with the Crusaders. He ended up switching over and playing for us. So I think you remember Richard Connery, Nico, the Crusaders were trying to get him. Yeah, tall, 6'9" kid, and
Mm-hmm.
he ended up coming, with us, and when he was playing basketball because he was involved in some other things too. But when he was playing basketball, so we didn't have to worry about that, man. For some reason, you know, I mean, I don't want to say for some reason because I know the reason. They felt comfortable with me because I was giving them everything I said I was going to give them. I was doing everything I said I was going to do, and so they were loyal. They were loyal back, and every year we knew what we had because we didn't have to worry about somebody jumping ship and going anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. If anything, we added a good player from here and there.
Every year, yeah, we would add some, yeah.
That's awesome.
So
That is awesome. That's awesome. Now, Coach Nico, what do you think is the biggest improvement in AAU since you started? And what do you think, like if Coach Nico hit the $1 billion lottery, where you got the power to influence and change things, what do you think that you would change about AAU that is a negative that has changed throughout the years? And then what do you think has been a good change that has happened since you first started?
I don't know. Because this is what I did. I played a long time at AAU, different states and everything. You know what I'm saying? And I coached AAU one probably about 6 months.
Right.
That I'm never doing it again.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you why. Because I got into it because I understood my perspective of it when I played. I was a kid, didn't have a lot of resources, didn't have nobody. I was doing for them what was done for me.
Right.
I'm saying giving our kids opportunity who didn't really have the opportunity. So when I coached, when I played, like I said, Coach Fowler took us from Texas to Las Vegas to Florida State. Like we went all over the place, from all in between as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I started to coach. I'm like, you know what? I want to give somebody opportunity to be seen that want to do it. Even if they're not the greatest, because I wasn't the greatest when I started, but I know we could build something and become something better. Help them become something better. So I look at it like I don't really care for AAU this much these days. I don't even. I used as I stopped. My last game coaching was the last game I went to. I
Okay.
used to the games just to watch. I can't do it because now kids don't want it like I expect them to want it, because I was a player who wanted it. I really came from too much of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just to give you a little behind sight on myself, I was
Right.
kicked out of seventh grade. I never went back to school.
Mm.
Opportunities that I was presented from Coach Fowler was opportunity for me to have another chance at doing something, on a greater scale. These kids got three red carpets laid out for them. So they don't understand what it takes to have the mentality of, oh, I don't have this, so I need to go get it. And I know, for me, man, I just feel like AAU, I look at the whole perspective different. As a kid, I didn't understand the business. I didn't know nothing about how much people was making off the tournaments and all this kind of stuff like that and what was going on, which that's a positive in business, right? It is good if you can have a good establishment that's not overly priced, make your money. But I feel like now it's just a money thing.
Mm.
So it's hard for me to really get into it, because even when I played, I remember, like Coach Fowler said, it cost $300 to play. I charged $300.
Wow. Wow.
Came out of my pocket and paid and paid and paid and paid and paid. You know what I'm saying? And I had four teams. I had girls teams and I had three boys teams. So I understand the dynamics of it. I didn't want to overcharge. We did a little fundraiser stuff here and there, but I just look at it like, man, AAU is becoming. It has became a business versus an opportunity, more so, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? There's no facts in that, but this is how I see it. Because don't get it wrong, there are tournaments that are great opportunities for players. You know what I'm saying? But there's other places that are strictly business. Then that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, give them a good run, give them some opportunities to play and become better, good referees. You know what I'm saying? Like, give them a good opportunity, a good time. I'm going to say a good basketball experience, so they can get something out of it versus just paying money just to go play.
Right. Right.
We
Right.
have that. When we play, we got experiences of a lifetime. Every tournament I can think of, we got stories behind that tournament. Whether we grew as a player or as a person, we got something out of it. Like Coach said, we stacked up in the rooms.
Right.
That
Right.
that you don't get to get older. And that's experiences I wish they could understand, because when we all stacked up in the room, it may seem crazy now, but that was team bonding. We
Mm-hmm.
all together. We had each other's back. If somebody didn't have a pillow, we'd throw them one. If somebody didn't have lotion, we'd give them some. If somebody didn't have toothpaste, we all looked out for each other, regardless. It was down from the coach to the worst player on the team. So I think that's part of the reason why we stuck together and stayed together, because we grew as friends, and it was basically a family. Even though we had adversity, just like everybody, every other family, we had arguments. We had people probably wanting to fight each other and all this kind of crap. But at the end of the day, when we played, we played. We played together. We stuck together. We didn't act crazy on the court with each other. If anything, we had players want to do something to the other team. We
Right. Right.
didn't really go too hard on each other.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he nailed it, man. It's like that team right there. The name of the team that they ended up becoming. So he started SQBA with when Nico first started playing was SQBA. We wanted to get out and do a little bit more. At the time, Frankie was a little bit more local, and so we wanted to get out and do something a little bit more. At the end of that first season, we went to Kansas, and so I invited some of the kids that I had coached in Florida to travel out to Kansas and meet us in Kansas. So we had half Virginia, half Florida, half Virginia,
Mm.
uh, playing out in Kansas. And at this big, it was an MAYB national tour. It was one of the big ones at the time.
Right. Right. Right.
And while we were out there, we just all kind of got the idea: Florida, Virginia, FLAVA, FlaVa Allstars. Uh, why don't we just do that? I had my assistant coach, Tarek Abdul Aziz, Thomas Maber, who was mentioned on Pee Wee Barber's podcast.
Right.
Um, he was my assistant coach down there, and so he was going to have practice with that team. and then I was gonna have practice with the Virginia kids,
Mm.
and then we were gonna meet up, and we would have one practice before the tournament everywhere we went, and we would practice outside if we needed to. I would lock down gyms in Virginia from connections I had in Virginia. Wherever we were at, he would lock down practices in Florida with connections he had. So everywhere we went, we would be able to do that. And we would, and then we would play. And that team right there could be. We beat Nike level teams
Yeah.
and shoe level teams. I mean, we would beat them.
Right.
That was the lineup. Like Nico was a shooting guard, and shooting guard small forward at 6'7". Our point guards were 6 feet tall. You know, Travis Lee will be on here in a little bit, and lights out shooter. They would dunk on you. We played above the rim. Our first play of the game was always we would try to throw an oop. We would, as soon as we got the tip off, we knew when we were going to get the tip off, so we automatically knew to run the play. And
Mm-hmm.
so we would get the tip off, run the play, boom, start the game with an alley oop, and everybody's at that point like, oh shoot, So we would have shoot teams intimidated
Wow.
because that's how we come out the gate. So that would be a team that would probably be a high level circuit team nowadays and would beat anybody locally. I would put them up probably against anybody at this point.
Oh
That
my.
team, we had size, we had shooters, they were smart, they played well together, and a lot of it could have been because of the grind that they all went through together. That's what everybody just wanted to play.
Right.
When you tell when I got one coach saying, "Hey, we're gonna play with a bunch of kids from Virginia," and then I'm telling the parents up here, "We're gonna play with a bunch of kids from Florida," you got to think what that would sound like nowadays. You know, what
It was,
what parent would be like, "How y'all gonna do that?" Nobody questioned it. They just rolled with it.
yeah.
And it worked. So
It was the trust that we had. We had the trust in what you were saying because we had no reason not to trust you because like you said, everything you said you was gonna do, you did. You
That's
know,
good. That's good. That's good.
well, you
Now,
tell the kids
yo,
now play with some kids from another team, they gonna get insecure about their minutes and probably quit and won't go because they
Oh,
intimidate.
yeah, that's the difference between the team now is that everybody wouldn't have stayed loyal because we had 10, 11 solid on that team, and all of them were comparable. So some games they get more minutes, some games they wouldn't. There was a lot of them would have jumped ship on that team. Just nowadays, not from that, but nowadays just because of playing time.
And I look at it like this too. Like we look at the players that we looked up to growing up, the professional players. The,
Hmm.
the players that we looked up to and the way they approached the game was the way we adapted to approach the game versus the superstars that they got now.
Yeah,
They
it's
take
a lot different.
got a little sore shoulder or something.
Managing minutes and
Yeah,
rest and all that.
you
Yeah,
play me till you take me out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Right. You
so
play the
Coach,
whole game, come out the last 30 seconds. Coach, why you take me out?
exactly. You take me out again.
Right.
so Coach Nico, what is your wildest, craziest story from the Coach Fowler days that you can share with us? Like, what was
Man, he had so much.
wild, craziest thing that y'all could tell that ain't gonna get Coach in trouble or nothing, but the
No,
wild.
no, it was legal, so it's not gonna get nobody in trouble. It was. I mean, it's just a lot of it came down to just now the basketball stories like
It could be basketball, it could be hotel, it could be whatever happened on the road. What's the wildest story that you still think back and is always really memorable for you?
right. I mean, all of it's memorable. I think about it all this stuff all the time. So for me, it was just the collection of all of it. I'm an experienced person. Like I got to go through it for me to feel it and understand it, so I can absorb what happened. So like a lot of it, man, I'm not even gonna say that it's wild no more because in hindsight, when you're going through stuff, it always feels emotions. But when you take the emotions out of it, and I look back on my stories, man, it was just me being an idiot, a young boy, not understanding what understanding what somebody was trying to teach me. I didn't have a lot of authority figure.
Right.
Kind of was a little rebellious, but I
Right.
never gave up. Even though I kind of shot off and disappeared and did stuff for him to be like, get out of here and all that, he always accepted me back because he understood who I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even understand who I was, but he's seen the bigger picture So he kind of kept the arms open for me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate him for that.
That's awesome.
A lot. Funniest story I can give you was we playing down Florida State. We balling. Everything was going good. Had a good game. Got in, man. I got the ball. I'm wide open. I poured a three, holding the release up. Wrong basket.
Oh, wow.
I got that video. I got that video, Tony. I still got the video.
I shot it. I'm like this. Oh.
He got his hands on his head, looking around. I'm like, wrong basket. He's holding his head like he just knew he was wide open. He was getting ready to get his bucket. He was wide open. And that was the reason he was wide open too. He was
yeah. I mean, like I said, we had a lot of experience. Younger person, I would say, was like, wow. But going through stuff for me was like, that was just my way of getting the way I'm going. You know what I'm saying? And I had a good person that was willing to help me get through it and didn't really understand it. But we had nothing crazy, extraneous in my opinion. We had some rough stuff, going through coaching and player perspectives, because I actually lived with him before. So we had a personal relationship and a basketball relationship. So I think it kind of kept us strong in the long run.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I guess for the people that are listening and want to truly understand, so Nico played with me with SQBA. That was the first time we ever met. This is in Culpeper, Virginia, and I end up then we did the FlaVa Allstars. So we had Florida and Virginia. He was a part of the Virginia side of it, and then I ended up moving to Texas. And I start working with the organization out there called I-20 Sports with Ray Wade, who had done some basketball stuff internationally, worked with NBA players. I ended up doing a lot of I did some celebrity games and things like that with Ray Wade and Nico. I think you might have been there for that.
Yep.
Deion Sanders and David Wesley and those guys. So we ended up doing things like that. But while I was out there, we were starting to build this travel team, and Nico was kind of in between, what he was going to do next. Again, he mentioned that he got kicked out of school in middle school and never went back. So we were going to try to work on getting him into school out there. And so his mom allowed him to come out and move in with me. And he started playing travel basketball out there with that team. So he ended up moving in with me in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Well, long story short there, we both ended up moving back over here. I helped Nico get into college in California, junior college in California. And then I took a coaching job at a junior college at Patrick Henry Community College here in Virginia and brought Nico back to go to he entered the transfer portal and came to Patrick Henry. So that was kind of and that's kind of to everybody to kind of get the perspective of how long me and Nico knew each other and were a part of each other's journey. I mean, that started at like 14 years old, and we're talking about now through college.
37.
Yeah, I mean, how old are you, Nico?
37.
37. So 14 to 37, and I'm 43. So that shows you 6 years. That's a 6 year gap when I was coaching him. So so that's how long our journey has kind of been together. So for people trying to get a perspective of what we've been through, there it is. So.
Wow. Now, Coach Nico, how do you stay involved with basketball now? You say you don't coach AAU. Are you doing training, or what do you do to stay involved?
Yeah, I train every day, all day, man. Like I've been training for a long time now. I've stopped playing professionally for a little while once I had my kids. So I kind of was in between with that. And once I got kind of like when I first had the kid, I was still grinding. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to still get as much out of it as I could, squeezing apples out of oranges. You know what I'm saying? So once I was kind of done with it and I realized I don't really want to, I kind of lost a love for playing because the game started to shift. The way I knew how to play, and they wasn't calling it the same way. So I kind of couldn't really give it what I wanted to give it because it wasn't working in my favor. So once I started to kind of fall back from it, I've been training for a long time now. I've been training international, some pro players. I've been in China. I had a guy, well, not a guy, but a company franchise. My training company was I Play Elite. They put a building up. I've been training in China for a little while when I was out there. I've been to about 4 or 5 countries training, doing different type of stuff with pro players and kids and stuff like that. Mexico, Latvia. I've been to Australia. I've been around with the training. So now that I'm back here in Virginia, I've been here for a little while. I've been doing nothing but training, man. Just staying activated, just talking to the kids, giving them the life experience. And it's more than just skills and drills training, and it is more than just teaching them the game. Like I learned how to play basketball from being character sculpted. Let me say that.
Sure.
And so I learned from the type of person you are is going to be able to dictate what you can give to the game or what you can get from the game. So I'm more so just making sure everybody more like a role model perspective because I've been through the mud 10 times and got out of it every time. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm giving them that and I'm giving them what I learned, the process of development as well. Because Coach Fowler I didn't have what they call a trainer these days, which I am. But the Coach Fowler, a lot of coaches just coach you and they're gone. They coach you, then they're gone. But he took the time. We had the park one-on-one. He helped me get my drive, turn around, jump shot, spin move. Like he gave me the basics, the basic package of how to operate. You know what I'm saying? I just took it and ran with that. And I do the same thing. Everything that I learned, I give it back because I never seen an apple tree eat apples. It's people walking past. So I just kind of every chance I get.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
one thing with Nico is that I tell you, as far as his training goes, is that him and his cousin, because his cousin was with us a lot as well. Anytime they were around, they would all I would this and I'll even say, listen, I don't know how old YouTube is, but I don't know where they get these videos from. But they would sit around and watch these videos of NBA training camp and other training camps and things like that before training was a thing. And then they would go out and train each other. So they would go out and put each other through these training camps and drills and stuff that they would find online. And I'd never seen anybody do anything like that before. So to see them do that, and then that's what they bring. That's what they bring now. And both of them are two of the best trainers that I would say would be in this area in Virginia. And they've been doing this longer than any trainer that I know because the trainers that are doing it now weren't doing what they were doing when they were players, and that was watching the videos of training and then training each other. And so by them doing the training they're doing now, I'm not surprised because of what they were doing when they were players to that level that trainers try to do it now.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Now, Coach Nico, after your JUCO experience, I heard that you went and played semi-pro or pro in different areas.
Right.
Where'd you play at?
Man, I done touched about too many countries, man. I got about, to be honest with you, I played in about 22 countries now. I done been in those times I've been playing, I've been about 22 countries. So I done touched a lot of places with the basketball. So, I mean, my very first stop was Estonia.
Okay.
I went to Estonia. Then I played in Latvia. I touched Russia for a few months. I've touched Mexico for a few years. I went to NBL Canada draft. I got drafted there. I've been in South America, like in Uruguay. I've been a lot of places, man. I sometimes I forget the name of them. Like it's been so long, and it's been so many of them. But I had a good run. I've been in Ireland. I've been a lot of places, so I had a lot of fun, And that's just, to be honest with you, it wasn't even the money that kept me playing.
Wow.
It was the basketball. Like I'm a hooper. I love to play. I don't care where it's at. You got a ball and you want some competition, let's do it.
Amen.
My pants every day.
Amen. 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 Amen.
I was gonna get down if you want to get down. So that's kind of how I was.
Amen. Now, Coach Nico, when you traveled all around the world, you 6'7", you have a particular look about you. The question I have is, what country were you treated the best? Where they, like they really rolled out the red carpet for you, and you felt you really was feeling the vibe. And then what country where you visited where you like, oh, I got to get up out of here because they, it's a little extra up in here. Which country did you have the greatest experience, and which country did you feel like, nah, man, not for me?
Right. I had a few spots that were a little iffy. To be honest, I've never had a terrible spot. Luckily, blessed enough to not have a terrible spot. But out of the spots that I had, I can say Mexico is both.
Okay.
Carpet off for me, but when things got hot, it was like I gotta get out of here. You know what I'm saying? It was real sweet, man. I had a great time in Mexico and Canada as well. Not because it was more. I was more comfortable with Canada because it's like Americanized.
Right.
It was
Right.
more familiar. Like I had a great time everywhere. It was all, I've never had a bad spill. Like I say, I never had nobody. The team rob me for money or not pay me. I hear a lot of stories. I've never had to deal with none of that. I've never had to deal with getting cut or none of that crap. So long as I had a good scenario for my experiences, but the livelihood and just like the everyday life that goes on in these countries, in the food, if you don't like the food, the internet ain't working, you can't call home, see your girlfriend or your mom or your kids or whatever you got going on. Those are the things that I had to deal with.
Okay.
Made me feel like, man, I can't do this no more because the things that your necessities are cut short in certain places if they're not really up to speed on what you're used to. So those
Yeah,
are the
the water's different in Mexico, and I remember going to Mexico and I rode that porcelain monster for a couple of days. Uh, how do you handle that? And then you have to go play ball.
I mean, I was great. To be honest,
Oh,
we can't drink the water. We use it to bathe and stuff like that. But what they did was we had, the big things that they stick into the machines with the waters with the neck on them.
uh-huh.
Whole room full of those. You know what I'm saying? We have unlimited access to water. Use them at free will. But other than that, only other problem I had was with like the everyday life that's going on outside of basketball. Like you don't know what's going on out there until you get into it. So we played a team in Juarez and like Juarez.
Ooh,
Yeah, we played down there.
ooh,
It's like they're telling me before I get. I've never experienced this before. So we played in a lot of places. I played in Chihuahua. So we're playing all over the place. We roll, we rocking and we rolling. We doing good. I'm probably like the leading scorer in the league. Basically right now I'm number one in the MVP race. Me and another guy that's in the league. So we go down to Juarez. They're the number one team in the league. So we go down there and the guys are telling me how dangerous it is, how this and that, cartel this, cartel that. All I know is basketball. So I'm like, I'm not even listening, like, but as I played in the league, I understood who owned these
wow,
teams and who
wow.
started the teams and who funded the
Right,
team.
right.
So as I'm growing and understanding the lay of the land, we go down here, and then on the way to this game, I'm having second guesses because I'm like, man, like I understand now.
Oh yeah, I
So now
can.
this game, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, how do I go about this game? I've never been a player to shy off from no rank. You gonna beat me or I'm gonna beat you, and
Right,
losing,
right. Yeah,
um,
I heard about Warriors. It's a little different. It's a
yeah.
little different down there. It's a
So
different world.
down here, once I get in the gym, it's packed from the floor to the door. But mind you, now we're in here, we're warming up around the basketball court. It's military with the big AR-15s and all type of assault. They're from shoulder to shoulder all around the court because they know they have a responsibility to make sure nothing happens to the American players.
Wow.
So but it's packed like it's all the way to the roof on both sides of the court, packed. People standing around. It's super super packed and it's super loud. So I already felt the energy when I got in there. You know what I mean? But it was fun. It was a fun energy. Nothing crazy going on. But if you're not used to being around seeing guns and stuff like that, it'll make you feel weary. If you're not really sure what that's about. So I just wasn't. That didn't bother me. So we playing. But this is the part that when stuff started to get tricky. It was a good game. They're great. It was the number one team in the league. So we're balling, good game. Get down towards the fourth quarter, like towards the last quarter. I'm gonna get a steal. I get a steal going down on a fast break. There's a what I want to call it. It's kind of like a perimeter around the court, about 4 feet high, to like separate the court from the bleachers, right, all the way around. So I'm going in. Dude is riding my hip, so I did a jump pass so I won't go out of bounds. He he ran me into the thing, and I flip over it, right. So he flipped over it. My team jump off the bench. Stuff started to get out of hand. So me reacting, I hop back over the the railing, and I'm going after like the dude because no one's ever did that to me, and I'm
Right.
a quiet person. You know what I mean? I don't really. I'm real chill. I don't. This is the most talking I've been doing. The most when people want to have conversations. So I don't really do a lot of talking in real life. So long story short, I come over the railing, and then the guy grabbed me. He hugs me on my team. He's an older guy, OG guy. He's been in the league for about 15 years. He hugged me, and he was in my ear. He said, "Look, don't mess up the money." He's hugging me as tight as he can. He's strong, the big guy. He said, "Don't mess up the money." He said, "Just look around." And while he's talking to me, I'm just kind of like, I'm looking around. He said, it's nothing but Mexico in here.
Right.
We have a chance."
Right.
Fooled me on the scenario. So I'm like, all right. Now, when this happens, now the game is tense because the other Spanish players on my team, they're defending me. And now we're in Juarez.
Right.
Kind of like that's what they do. So game goes on towards the end of the game. It turned me up. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. So now I can't physically do nothing, which I shouldn't have, but it turned me into a different type of player in this moment. It just leveled me up another level. So we going hard now, because I was kind of cruising through the game, just playing the game. But now I was like, I'm about to kill the game. So I took it out on the player that was guarding me, and I'm talking crazy to him. I'm calling ISOs. We didn't even have ISOs. I tell you, I'm just waving everybody out of the way. Move. So I probably scored about 10 baskets in a row, back to back. Like, they fouling me, they killing me in there. But I realized the referee's not gonna call nothing for me at this point. They're like, nah, they didn't want Juarez to lose, because it's the league's favorite team. So we're doing this. Long story short, we beat them. It went crazy in there. So the military they grabbed me and the other American guy on my team, and they got us out of there and got us to the bus. We had to go.
Wow.
Got us out of there fast, man. We didn't even stay the night.
Wow.
They got us out of there.
Wow. That's a crazy story. That is a crazy story. Yeah. I don't know if I would have went to war. I studied a little bit about Warriors. I've heard about them.
Yeah. Told them, nah, I'm good. Because, but at the end of the day, man, what really makes it so bad is because they bet on the games. They side bet.
Right.
No, these guys losing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on one game. So now they lose that kind of money. They drinking, and they all of this going on, and the emotions kick in, and then there you got a problem.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for the love of the game.
With all of that, with all of your experience in playing overseas, did you ever get a G League look?
Yeah, I had a well, it was the D League when I played.
Okay.
It was the D League. I had a few looks, but the problem is for me was I had an agent at the time, and he gave me the ins and outs, because after I kind of had my little couple years swing in overseas, I kind of got a feel for how the business was working.
Sure.
And I was like, well, you know what? I got smart when it came to business. So I had the Bakersfield Jam was the most. I don't even think they exist no more. They was out of California. I think they might have been for the Phoenix Suns and Orlando Magic.
Okay.
They asked about me a lot. So my thing was, I got a feel for it. Like, I'm asking them, I'm comparing my current scenario to what I could be transitioning into. So I'm asking them, like, okay, like, what is the money like? All right, or what are they taxing? What am I responsible for? How much money I got to do this? So to be honest, it just made more sense for me to stay where I was at financially, because the NBA wouldn't have been paying us, the G League wouldn't have been paying, or D League wouldn't have been paying as much as I was making. Then they would have taxed it, so that's even less money. Then I would have had to pay for my own housing, my own cars, my own everything, and then my own food, and that. It just didn't make sense financially. At the time, I was all basketball. But as I grew and had some experience under my belt, I understood it wasn't just basketball that I was doing. But once I got that type of experience, I started to play the business game a little bit, and I just kind of shied away from it, because overseas, everywhere I went, they gave me a house for free, a car for free. I'd have food for free. I didn't have to pay for nothing. Whatever I wanted to pay for was what I wanted to do outside of my own. Anything extra, I just did on my own. But other than that, everything was paid for, and it was tax free. So I just kind of stayed where I was at.
Wow. Now, I heard that a lot of times, is this still true? I heard a lot of times, especially European teams, that they only let 2 Americans on the team per team. Or have they gone away from that, or is that still any truth to that?
It's leagues, depending on the league you're in. Sometimes it's 1 American, 2. You can have I've seen teams have up to 4.
Wow.
In certain leagues, but it just all depends on where you are. In Mexico, you can have 4. Sometimes you can only have 2 playing at a time, or there's stipulations. It's truth in everything that you're saying. It just depends on where you are.
Okay. Now, from your perspective, I'm hearing a lot, and I actually even heard this locally from a local coach who's come back here in the military. Um, is it really true that the Europeans are just so much better at developing young kids than we are? What is your perspective? What did you see when it comes from that?
1,000% true. The
Okay.
reason is because, like you say, AAU is the key factor why they're not getting better.
Mm,
That's why I won't coach no more, to be honest.
wow.
Because for one, how many tournaments is in a regular average AAU tournament? How many games? I mean,
Oh, probably. I've seen 3 or 4.
3 to 4. How many practices do they get a week?
Probably 2,
Maybe 2.
maybe 2. Yeah,
But you playing more than you practicing.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But over there, they practice 7 days a week,
Wow.
maybe for 2 weeks before they even play. So they get 14 practices in 2 or 3 games.
Mm,
And then they get 14 more practices in 2 or 3 games. And
wow.
15 practices in 2 or 3 games.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
After the games, if you didn't do so high, we going right back to practice. So it's like they understand the process of development. And I think that helps me with my training as well, for me having my experiences noticing that.
Right.
Because I've gotten good with my two practices a week or one practice a week because I practice by myself every freaking day. Like I said, I looking at Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Allen Iverson. I could watch the game, see a move, the moves that we ooh and ah for now. They replay it just to get an ooh and ah. I replayed it so I can figure out what he did. And then I would go to the park the very next day because I could walk there in about 100 steps. And I would be there all freaking day long doing this move until I got it to where I can do it on somebody. And it worked.
Right. Right. Right.
But I don't think the kids they're not students of the game no more. They are, I'm not gonna say that. They see students of the game. They
Mm-hmm.
do enough just to get by and pass, but they're not trying to be straight A's.
Yeah.
And why I don't feel like this era player is could compete with the era of players that I grew up in, because we wanted to kill you. We wanted to kill the best players. We wanted to do you in. We wanted to take you down. It was
Right.
a competitive nature that was just in the water at that time.
Mm,
But now you still got some. Don't get me wrong. You got some. Can't take it from everybody. But overall, you could get out on somebody. You could take them out there. If you put them on an island and you taking it to them, they'll act like they're not really playing defense no more. So you can't say, well, I wasn't really playing. You know, we never did that. We had too much pride. We took too much pride in who we were in ourselves to let somebody just do this to you. You know, forget what the team. We're gonna win or we're gonna lose. But you not gonna give me 20 or
mm,
30 or 40. You're not doing that to me. You know what I mean? If you end up with 40, it's gonna have to be all over the place. But you're not gonna do it to directly me. You know what I mean? So I just feel like by me being overseas and stuff like that, it gave me the idea to see how players went from zero. I seen kids when I was over there so long. I was in some countries for a long time, going back and going back. I watched them grow a little to teenagers, from young kids, and I'm seeing how they're operating. I've even coached some over there. Some of the younger teams like that, when you play, they give you a job outside of your contract to coach some of the high school players and just kind of be there for them and like give them something to look up to and just teach them what you know outside of what the coaches is teaching them, because at the end of the day, they're smarter than the American player and they understand basketball better than the American player, but they're not more talented.
mm.
You know what I mean? Some of the natural ability stuff we got and some of the creative, they don't have the creativity that we have because of the athleticism that we have. We can kind of put two and two together. Sometimes they can't do it. So what we have and what they have together makes a monster. You know, so that's kind of how we was taught to like help the younger guys over there. But they practice. Don't get it wrong. And there's no 2 hours. You're getting three in.
Wow.
3 hours. We're gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's days. So they go to school, they go to practice, they go home for their break, they go to school, they go to practice, they go home for the break, they go to school. This clockwork. There's no off season.
Mm.
There's no football, there's no baseball, it's basketball. 12 months.
Yeah. 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 I like hearing that because sometimes people try to, I push my daughters pretty hard, and people make you feel like you're crazy for pushing your daughters hard, and then when you start hearing like that, then it make me feel like, yeah, I ain't pushing them hard enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that makes me feel that makes me feel a whole lot better because sometimes the culture people kind of can if you got a little bit of King Richard in you, people they treat you like like you're just an insano for pushing your daughters. And when you start to hear that, no, I ain't do, you know I'm not pushing them even that hard. So they can get over it. They can get over it.
Right.
Yeah, Coach Nico, I've heard about Dream Chasers in Manassas Park,
Mhm.
and I've also heard about the Richmond Ram Chargers. Have
Right.
you had a chance to play with them, or would you consider playing with them? What are your thoughts on those
I,
organizations?
Dream Chasers. I know the owner real well. That's my guy.
Okay.
I think they actually, well, last year, the guy who, well, excuse me, not the owner, but the guy who directed it and ran it. I don't actually know the top owners, but my guy Jeremy was the one who was running them, and he actually transitioned over to his own to his I think if I'm not mistaken, he made, if I'm not sure if he's still running it or not, but I was training those guys.
Oh wow, wow,
Yeah, I
wow.
was training with those guys if I'm not mistaken of that. Excuse me. In the Richmond Rams, I've never heard of those guys, but
Okay,
the pro team that I knew of there was Richmond Elite.
okay.
That was the biggest team out of Richmond, and they recently Miss Joyce Patterson was the owner. I used to play for them for a long time.
Mm.
When I came from overseas, I would always go right to Richmond and just play with them. And I think she might have retired that team, but as of now, I don't really see me getting back into it. I could still get down
Right, 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 right.
local rec stuff just for my own personal, get a little drive here and there, a little itch I go scratch, but I don't really have a commitment to play like that on that level anymore because I do so much training. I'm ready to give it away
Sure.
versus put it on display at this point.
Hey man, I like that. I like that. Now, while we waiting, Coach Fowler, you threw a name out there that I ain't never heard you mention before. I want to hear about this. What was meeting Deion Sanders like? That was my favorite football player of all time.
Well, I had a lot of respect for him until I met him.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, he made me go to the store. This is a charity basketball event.
Right.
Uh, and he would not come out of the locker room until I went and bought him two Milky Ways because it was a thing that he did before any game. He had to eat two Milky Ways.
Oh wow.
And so he would not come out to play the game until I went to the store and got him two Milky Ways.
Oh wow.
But he's Dion. I ain't gonna say I don't respect him. I mean, I respect Dion. I respect what he's doing in college football right now and everything. But he's very arrogant. And
Oh
the
wow.
arrogance you see on TV, it's
Uh-huh.
tripled in person.
Oh
So
wow.
he is a very arrogant guy. Uh, and so that was the biggest thing I got from him. But I was a big fan of him as well,
Yeah,
growing
they
up.
say never meet your heroes. They say never meet your heroes.
Yeah, well, I learned immediately how arrogant he really was from meeting him for that. But no, it was cool. I mean, and then he left. He didn't want any interaction with the fans as far as like autographs and stuff. So when there was a few minutes left on the clock for the game, he left and went to the locker room, got his stuff, and bounced. So uh,
Wow.
he wasn't trying to hang around and do the whole charity thing. He was just gonna play. He helped draw the crowd by using his name to get people there for the money part of the charity thing, but he didn't want to be involved in the fan interactions, so he got out of there.
Well, I always liked him on the field. Like
Yeah,
I just his I think he changed the game both sides. I never saw anything like that where you
being able to
literally
play both sides and whatnot, and then the
whenever.
culture as well. He was part of that '90s culture, man. That was huge in sports. So I mean, he changed the game in a lot of ways.
Hey man, what y'all think about this old JUCO years not counting no more?
Man, you got eligibility.
That's what I'm talking about.
You still got some eligibility. Man. Hey, they just took a what was he? 32-year-old um freshman
Check
And
this
at
about the dude.
Arizona, at Arizona, I think they got a 32-year-old freshman who was in the D League, in the G League.
What I was about to say, the NBA
Yeah.
guy. There was a guy who played in the actual NBA who left the NBA and went to college.
Yep. And still got all 4, I think all 4 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can't believe what I'm hearing.
Well, I told my daughters it kind of takes the stress off of you gotta get something before your senior year. Because now, if you can go D3 and then you can work your way, matter of fact, you're probably going to be going D3 and then you're going to have to work your way up by doing a good job when you D3.
And there was a time where that wasn't realistic at all. Like people would just laugh if somebody said something like that. But there's dudes like the dude that played for Ole Miss, the quarterback, went D2, won the D2 national championship, then came up to Ole Miss, took his team took him to the Final Four in the football playoff
I
or
still
whatever.
code for basketball players, man, because if you go to the right junior college, man, you can learn. You learn so much in them 2 years at basketball wise.
Mm-hmm.
You can get in there and you can find a good program as someone who's gonna work with you and show you something. You're gonna be all right.
Yep.
You're gonna be all right. Because I know Coach O'Neal put the work on me when I was out there. As tough as he was when he was who he was,
He had to. You look at what's that show called on Netflix? Um, Last Chance U.
yeah,
Did
Yeah, I love that
you
show.
saw that? It was a lot of the schools that y'all played against that
yeah, I
were
know.
on the Last Chance U. Yeah, that
I
was
love
a
that
lot of
show.
those same schools. So and to compete there,
I think that's
O'Neal,
what I
he knew
really
what it took.
I turned the corner when I was out there. Like he put me in that man. I didn't come home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or nothing. He said, "Look, you can stay here with me. Don't go back."
Mhm.
He told me, "Don't go back," because he knew he was afraid that I wasn't gonna come back.
Yep. He
I
passed
said,
away not too long ago, man. Did you know that?
"Huh?
He passed away not too long ago.
Dang, I didn't know that."
Yeah.
Who was
Man,
that?
Middle of last year, I think he passed away.
my college coach, I didn't know that. One of them. They
Yeah,
both.
John O'Neill, he coached at Palomar Community College. That used to be like one of my major connects. Like he would call me all the time. Hey, just send me 2 or 3 of your best guys. And so I would just send him 2 or 3 of the best guys I had out to California to play for him. And I mean, he didn't need to see tape. He knew.
Yeah,
And
he.
if I sent him, then it was good.
Yeah.
And so I would send him 2 or 3 a year out there to California.
East Coast got that edge, man, when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, he knew what was up.
By me being out there on the West Coast and seeing how they play and how we play, man, we was tearing them dudes to pieces. Because like,
Mhm.
hey, don't get me wrong, they wasn't bums, but they just didn't have the edge that we had. It's like they came up with the spoon in their mouth and we didn't.
But when you
So,
think of all the meccas of basketball, they're all on the East Coast.
hmm
So
yeah, we just wouldn't have no quit.
Well, Coach Nico, right before you go, just wanted to ask you one last question. What is your future plans in basketball?
Hey, did you know there's this little button? It's right here on the video. And it reads SUBSCRIBE. And when you click that little button, an angel gets its wings. For real.
I'm not necessarily interested in coaching college basketball, but I'm interested in being a player development for any program that see fit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more of my lane. I know where I'm good at. I know where I thrive. I know where I can benefit the players. Because when it comes down to coaches and X's and O's, I'll be honest with you. Any coach, any play coach ever wrote up, I didn't remember it at all. Not from no level of basketball. I never remember any play. I just remember the first 2, 3 passes, and it just wherever the ball at, we just gonna play.
make something
So
happen.
X's and O's is not really my thing. You
Right.
know, I just understood how to play the game. You know, movement, spacing, pace. You know, just be smart with the ball, stuff like that. I grew to understand. That's how I became who I was. So I'm just here to be a player development guy. So I'm looking forward to training at a college level sooner or later at some point, but not necessarily coaching.
Amen. Amen.
And
Well,
last thing before you go, Nico, biggest memory of Travis Lee.
Say pass the ball, man. Nah, right, honest man, that right there, him saying pass the ball was reminds me of the best memory of Travis Lee. The jump shot, man, he can shoot best. He's one of the best shooters I ever laid eyes on. That didn't make the pros. that I never seen in the NBA. So he let it fly from wherever he touched it. It was going up, but it was going down.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Pass the ball.
Amen. Coach Nico, thank you for coming on, and thank you for all that you've done for basketball, and thank you for continuing to move the sport forward.
I appreciate you guys having me, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
I did go.
Hello. Welcome.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you coming on, Mr. Lee. Before we get really started, really good, we ask everybody this same question: how and when did you fall in love with basketball?
I don't know. It was just growing up. It was just all sports, and basketball pretty much stayed with me. I mean, I grew up. My first sport was baseball, t-ball. We were gonna call flag football, but basketball was like the thing that stood out the most, pretty much. So kind of stuck with me.
Okay, all right. How'd you get that? Everyone's been talking about your shot for the last hour. How'd you end up developing that incredible shot?
My generation, we just didn't want to not play sports. We played everything outside, so we played basketball after school. Even in high school, we played when we weren't supposed to play. Game days, middle school, we just played. We played all the time.
Oh, wow.
We just wanted to play ball.
That's cool. Now, what's your favorite memory back in the day and y'all's AAU team there with Coach Fowler? What was your favorite memory from back then?
Just meeting a group of different guys, coming from the other side, which you got the Florida Virginia team. Just meeting, fellowshipping with different group of guys. It's all about the memories for me. Even I think about my college career, high school. It's all about the relationships that you have with people. The hotels, it's just the memories. It's just meeting different people.
Amen. Now, Coach Fowler told me that you are the world's biggest Angel Reese fan.
Angel Reese. What do I go? I give Angel Reese, LeBron. It's a couple people I give a hard time. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I hear you.
I'm with you on the LeBron James. I'm with you on LeBron James.
I don't know. I like the people like me. I'm a fan of shooters. I mean, I love clearly got my current shirt on, but I'm a fan of players who like you can't wake up and be a Steph Curry. You got to put in the work to be Steph. Players like that, developing. You just can't wake up and be a great shooter. You got to put in the work.
Amen. I can hear already you probably like Batman more than Superman because Batman had to put in the work. Superman just wake up, right? So
I got a different look on that too. I mean,
you do? I want to hear you. I want to hear you take on that.
When I think about heroes, superheroes, Batman, not so much super, and I don't know. I feel like I don't see no work he put in. He just got the gadgets.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
I don't look at it like that.
I hear you. Now, you said college. When you moved on from AAU, what college did you go to, and did you play there, and how did that go?
Well, so this is my story. I from high. Well, you say from what transition you talking about now?
When you went from AAU to college.
So from high school, from high school AAU to college. So my transition from there to college was coaches. I mean, I didn't want to sugarcoat to the coaches. They was, contacting me. Some of the websites had me at 6'3". I'm not 6'3". They called me. They be like, you play point guard too? I'm like, I'm 5'7", 5'8". That's what I play. I mean, that's my position. But I was looking for schools to where I didn't have to be like, a point guard, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
And the first school I went to, Jacksonville, Junior College Jacksonville, it was okay. It was an experience. The coach resigned before we got there. We played under a coach who we wasn't his type of players. I think like maybe 2 players stayed. We all left. Ended up going to Northeast Mississippi. Perfect fit. With the Mississippi scholarship, they only have like 2 or 3 scholarships available for out of state, whatever. Went there, did pretty good. Then I was, hold on, let me see. Was this? Yeah. So I was looking for transitioning from it was at one point in time where when Coach Fowler was trying to help me get a school. It was some school in San Diego. You remember that?
Palomar.
Yeah, that one.
He was one of the ones that. yeah, Palomar. That's the one where Nico and them went.
Okay, yeah. And I was just trying to do what I had to do to, get where I was going. But I did good at the second school. And I had, coaches, coming, whatever. But I wasn't going to a school where I had to be like strictly point guard, because I never did that in my whole career. Like Troy was a school I went to. I didn't have to play point guard. I mean, the 1 through 4 was pretty much the same position. We, get the ball up the floor. We had our, offense or whatever. So it's no old point guard, call the plays, get the team, whatever. But I knew for me to be successful, because I'd never done it my freshman year, I kind of had to do that, but that's why, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to go to a school that was, fit for me and what I like to do, which is shoot.
Sure. And so he ended up at Troy. I don't know if you caught that. That he ended up at Troy University.
Okay.
Yeah.
D1 there.
Oh wow, that's nice. All right. Now, what did you feel any extreme difference when you went D1 regarding funding, facilities, assistant coaches? Did you feel that big step up?
Yes, it was. Well, I went to the second school, which was Boonville, Mississippi, Tri-County, nothing there but that school. But small place, they love you. Got all the love. I had posters at the stores, like they was all for, the players. Going transition to college, it was just, I don't know, it's just more organized. I don't know how professional it felt, but it felt like it was just like, you're on a timeline, they make sure you're on your stuff, grades, you got study hall, you got, individuals getting ready to preseason workouts, make sure you're on your meal plan, diet, all that, stuff, which experience, because I did go to the other schools, but it wasn't as much detailed like D1. And Detroit, they took care of us. Fans, they loved us. It was an experience. I really enjoyed it.
Now, excuse me, where is Troy? Excuse me.
Alabama.
Oh, okay, Troy. Duh. All right, yeah, Troy, Alabama. So, all right, that's awesome. That is awesome. Now, do you just play, like, do you just, right now your association with basketball, do you just play locally, or what do you do in basketball now?
I've been playing City League, pretty much every year. I play pickup at the church on Wednesdays and Friday mornings, whenever I can make it. I'm a referee. I'm on the other side now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been officiating since 2016. So I'm on the other side. Not college level, just high school, adult leagues around the city, middle school, high school. But I'm on the other side.
Okay. So now, as a referee, what's your craziest parent experience that you've ever had to deal with?
I've had parents come to me on the court telling me they're gonna kick my ass.
Oh wow!
Literally, I'm on the court. But
Wow.
I don't now. The last 4 years, I don't do AAU ball no more.
Okay. What happened?
It's
What happened?
out of control. AAU ball is out of control. It's too much. It's too much with the parents traveling with the players who ain't even making it at high school. It's just a lot. I mean, back then when we was playing, it was a privilege to play AAU. Now everybody doing it.
Wow.
Just get a team, get some money, let's play. But if they really, really need me, I'll do it. But I don't do AAU. I don't fish AAU ball no more. It's not my thing.
Okay. And where are you doing it now? Where are you living at?
In Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, Tallahassee. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, when it comes to reffing, what do people on the other side, what do they not know? Because everybody gives the refs a hard time, and we had a referee on here before, and he spoke of your new profession, and I think a lot of times people give the refs a hard. I try to give some encouragement on the way out, whether my girl loses or wins. I always try to give them some type of encouragement. Hey, good job, ref. Well, I try to say something positive. But what do the fans and what do even some coaches not understand about your profession of refereeing? What did you learn when you went over to that side?
I learned, first off, nobody's never going to be happy. Okay. At the end of the day, coaches, players, parents, sometimes even other referees might not be happy with the calls you make. I mean, everybody's not going to be happy, but I really, if I could tell the parents, especially the parents, they love to say this: y'all out there cheating. First of all, we don't care who wins or not. I promise you, we don't care who wins or not. We're not, especially at the high school, middle school level. I don't know. I wouldn't know your child from this day to the next day. But no, just I always try to keep it professional. Even when they be, parents, they think they child Jordans and Currys, which they, more like Angel Reese's. No, but I just try to keep it professional with the adults. Just try to keep it professional with them. That's pretty much.
Amen. Now, I will say this: in Virginia, and I'll be honest with you, in Virginia, people swear by this, and like they really believe this, that there are some referees that are what they call home referees, where those referees are for, like they're just from a certain region, and there's home cooking.
I think that's everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's everywhere.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that, or that's just all bogus?
They'll say that. Oh, they getting their home calls or stuff like that. Like if a team comes from out of town, that's the home cooking. They say that.
So how do they know? Like Tilly, would you be able to do a Gobby game? So he went to Gobby High School. So would you be able to do a Gobby game?
They keep putting me on Gobby games. I don't like it.
Because then there is that.
I've gotten that.
Got you.
I've gotten it. I've got and it's from both sides. Oh, you need to give us some calls and this and that. Like, so do you went here? This the fans, but then the coach from the Rutgers and Gobby game, he shouldn't even be on this game. He went here. I'm like, I don't even care. I've got it. It's from both sides. So
yeah.
But yeah, I do quite a bit of Gobby games. I had one 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Now, I asked this of Coach Nico. I want to ask you the same question. If you become you hit the $1 billion lottery, all right, and you have the power now, you're king for a day. What do you think has improved regarding AAU compared to the days when you were with Coach Fowler? And then also, what would you change? Like, what do you think? How can we fix it? How can we coach it better so that so that some of you all who saw the old, you can get some of that back, and we can continue to improve the sport.
I just think it just need to be more developmental facilities. Like, I mean, I understand you learn the game by playing, yes, but a lot of these kids need some just basic one-on-one fundamentals.
Right.
Now, I could say a lot of these kids now, they way taller and longer, more athletic than, when I was playing. But just get these like development accounts, just learn more or work on your game more versus just, hey, y'all go out here and play.
Right.
I think that'll be better for the game in general.
Now, what have you ever had a chance to help these kids? Because you with your jump shot that I've been hearing about for the last hour. Do you ever do any training camps helping kids with their jump shots?
No, I did. I helped my coach. I was still I might have still been in my first school. Helping my coach me in high school, helping his team in high school. He went to another school. Just helping out practicing. Then this used to be a big thing when I was playing. The people who was in college, that played for the school or whatever, they'll come back, play against us. We'll get to play against some upper competition, and that's my way of seeing people get back. Even they go overseas, play, come back to the gym. Hey, we got to run. Which they still do that at my high school. Last time I played was like a year ago, but I haven't been involved over there. They got new coaches and stuff. But no, I did have a coach. Yes, yeah, I had a game yesterday, Gaston County. He was like, one of the dudes referred me to him. He was like, he wanted me to help him out with this AAU team, trying to get me in the AAU. He was like, he would be glad for me to come along and help. But I did leave him my number, and I've had people come to me, hey, what you think about this, blah blah blah, but my schedule didn't fit. But now I got all the time now since my schedule. I get off at noon every day.
That's good.
So we might be able to call him Coach Travis now.
No, seriously,
Coach T. Lee.
I've been talking. I've been talking to a couple people. I got plenty of time now.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Now, this is a really important question for everyone coming up. You became a D1 level shooter. How many makes did you, like in your practice as a young man, did you ever count your makes, and how many makes were you trying to get up a day on, your shot?
Not necessarily. So in high school, we had a basketball class. We just shot the ball every day, fourth quarter. I wish I had a gun in high school. We just had to, do it manually, catch,
right,
get the person, team up, But when I got to not the first school, but my second school, I did not shoot on a gun, like literally. I had a gun, so I ain't have to have nobody. Hey, coach, I'm finna go to the gym. Open the door. My dorm was right across from the gym. But if I would have had a gun in high school, we had that, remember that long net basketball thing would catch the ball and it'll it'll slide the ball to you. I ain't like that. It was kind of too slow for me. But if I wish we would have had the money in high school to have a gun. But once I got a gun, I ain't got to have nobody come to the gym. I ain't got to bother nobody about rebounding, trying to get no shots up. But no, I didn't have a set number. But I did hit 38 threes in a row. That's my highest.
That's nice. That's real nice right there. That's real nice right there.
I don't think you could talk to anybody that if they had to describe Travis Lee's game in one word, shooter. I mean, he was a sniper, man. That's what he was.
Amen.
And might still be. He said he ain't played in a year, but we'll see. Sometimes
No.
It's like riding the bike.
I ain't saying he ain't played in a year. I ain't played in that at Gabi in a year.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I just played what it is. Monday. I played Thursday.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. I see some of the times where you would put where you were playing and whatnot, and I'm like, yeah.
That's at the church.
It don't matter how old you get, you still shoot it.
Yep. I'm restricted from down there anyway. Just shoot the ball.
Amen. Now, my daughter's a shooter, and do you have any words of advice of when to pass and when to shoot? Well, because she's always, because it's a tough thing is when, with girls, she's trying to fit in with the team, and she's also practicing more than everybody. She does 400 makes a day, and
she deserves to shoot the ball more then.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll let her know that.
Look, that's like Kobe mentality. He said, "I put up the time, so I need to be the one taking the shots." Now, I'm not a Kobe fan either, but I respect his hard work, respect for the game.
Yeah, she definitely got that. Well, let me tell y'all a little funny story. She's always mad because I ain't gonna lie, I'm slow, right? So I'm 52, about to be 53. So I'm a slow rebounder, and my wife's a slow rebounder, and my baby girl, 10-year-old, she a slow rebounder. Shooters, when you talk about that gun, she want to get that ball back and let it go. So we all
get in rhythm.
Yeah, and that rhythm is important for her. So we all rebounded. And then this little boy came up. He was like 6 or 7. I think he must have fallen in love with my oldest daughter because he starts running and grabbing the ball and throwing it back to her. And he's looking like a little Jim Carrey, just running it back and throwing it back to her. And then my oldest, she looked at all of us and she said, "That's how you rebound the ball." so when you were talking about that gun, them shooters, they want that rock back.
Yes.
So yeah.
Gun up. Just got to get the reputation. That's all it's about. Reputation. I mean, repetition. Repetition. Got to get the ball up. Get it up. Keep shooting.
Well, if you ever come up to Virginia, we definitely, Coach Fowler, if he's ever up your way, I want to take Courtney and Nadia, and maybe he could have a little private session with me, with Courtney, Nadia in Italy.
Hey, we've been talking about a alumni game for years, man. We need to eventually sometime get it together, man. We've been talking about this alumni game, Coach Fowler alumni game for years, man. Trying to get all the guys together from the different teams to come and play again, run a game or something like that. So maybe we'll have to try to get that.
I'm down.
Yeah, you were always the first one to reply and be like, "I'm down. I'm ready. So.
Now, Coach, excuse me, I keep calling you Coach Lee. T. Lee, I got a question for you. I love Steph. You love Steph. I love when the game opened up, and at least initially, and all those. But your man, Coach Fowler here, he doesn't. He's thinking they shooting too many threes nowadays. So, and I'm sure you probably think, you probably have the same. What are your thought process about a team like, let's say, the Celtics, where it just seems like they're going from 3-point line to 3-point line, 3-point line to 3-point line? What are your thoughts about that evolution of the game?
I think he's my favorite player, but I ain't gonna say he ruined the game, but it's not helpful for the game because now, as the years went on, everybody think they can shoot the threes, and that's what they do.
Right.
And if if you put in the work, yeah, but people don't put in the work, obviously, because they ain't going in at no high rate.
Right.
The game is faster. I mean, it's different, obviously. You don't really have no bigs no more. I mean, and then the couple of bigs we got, they put the ball on the floor, just kind of like a guard. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it because I like, I'm old now. Move the ball around. Let's get a good shot. If we can find a mixed match, let's go there. Or let's back to the basket. Whoever. I'm not a well. This my game is I'm not a fan like watching it, but I mean I be shooting threes on fast breaks. I do.
He did that. He did that back in the day when he played too.
That's my game. I don't know. That's just what I do. But I felt like, over the years of me playing basketball, I put in the work to be able to do that.
Right.
And then, everybody in the gym know, like if I'm on a break by myself, people trying to get back, I'm probably gonna pull up, shoot a three, because I ain't really driving to the basket. But everybody in the gym already know that. So
yeah,
I'm not a fan of it. Of the just everybody jacking up shots. They're jacking up threes.
Right. I hear you. So, Coach Fowler, you have any closing questions or closing thoughts?
Well, I will tell Travis that I tried to get Bradley on today, so y'all can hash things out. But
what was the situation again? It was did I hit a shot and then next time I came back down same.
So we were on a run. So we were on a big run. So Tony, I'll tell you the story as I'm reminded Travis, because every time I post something about it, Travis first one, Bradley still should have passed the ball. Bradley still should have passed the ball. This is 20 years later, man. So so Bradley Starks, who's one of the Virginia guys on the FlaVa Allstars, left-handed player, really nice shooter, very athletic dude. He ended up playing wide receiver at West Virginia, Division I. He actually had several schools that were going to let him play basketball and football, and West Virginia was one of them. He ended up never playing basketball at West Virginia, but because of injuries. But anyway, they were playing. We were on a run. Travis comes down, spots up, shoots a three, drains it. Bradley comes down. The next time they swing the ball to Bradley, and Bradley probably should have went one more pass because he was about 2 or 3 feet behind the 3-point line. Should have made the extra pass because Travis was standing in the exact same spot.
In my same spot I just hit the shot from.
That he just hit the shot from. And Bradley looked him off. He looked at him and looked him off and shot the three himself. Bradley made it. But Travis was like, right. Travis was still, he's been bitter for 20 years because he's like, you still look me off like that. So, I have the footage and I post the footage every now and then of Bradley looking him off and shooting the three anyway. But every time I post it, Travis is like, yeah, he still should have passed the ball. He still should have passed it to me. I just hit one from right in the same spot. He should have passed it. So I was trying to get Bradley on today. Bradley's sick. A lot of stuff that we going through, our voices and things. He's under the weather, so he said he didn't think his voice would make it. But he's going to try to get on another time. But I was trying to let you guys hash it out today.
Well, I think our audience is going to learn there was a single line that came through both Coach Nico and T. Lee, is that the kids need development and the kids need training.
Yep. Yes, that's the biggest thing with these young guys.
Yeah. So that's the message, and I want to leave it with this as well. I think the coaches, and so I'm a rookie. Y'all been doing this for years and years and years. And this is from a rookie parent perspective, and also a guy who was coached really young kids, but I never coached at a higher level. Right? I think what's happening is the coaches feel such a responsibility to quote unquote win that they are trying to run plays and coach plays and they need to just be brave enough to shut down one running plays and just have them do drills and just have them do development and drills and put up shots. But I think that takes a bravery because you got to be brave enough to know that your team may not, you may not have all your team plays worked and all this other stuff, but in the long run, you're going to be taking care of those young people better.
And a lot of the coaches don't realize even now because I mean you get people who are coaching just like Nico said, there's somebody's dad of a kid who didn't make another team, so he went and started his own. And so a lot of times these coaches don't understand without the fundamentals, a lot of kids can't run the plays they're trying to run. I mean, the fundamentals go a long way with just in the plays. You got to understand, being able to get 2 feet in the paint as guards and things like that. They don't understand drive and kick. They don't understand a lot of the components that go along with the plays. And if they don't have the fundamentals to be able to do some of these things, the plays ain't gonna work anyway. So
They're gonna struggle. They're gonna be frustrated. The parents gonna be frustrated. You just got. I mean, you got to work on the game. It's kids. I mean, even like some high schools, JV teams in the layup line can't even make a layup with their opposite hand off the right leg. The correct leg. Like it's just simple stuff like that.
yeah.
But I think what's happening is maybe it's not the message to the coaches. Maybe it's more a message to the parents. Because I know my perspective is that when Courtney and Nadia go to the team, that it's their job to learn the coach's plays and all this other stuff. But it's my perspective that I send them to the team well trained, because now don't get me wrong, I don't know what y'all know. So guess what I have to do? I got to pay for trainers. I'm like, and Coach David be laughing at me, T. Lee, because I got to pay for, because he knows how to train his baby. I can't train something where I ain't never played at that level, So I got to come out the pocket and pay. But I end up coming out the pocket and I pay for all kind of trainers all over the place, so that my daughters go to the team well trained.
Right.
So that takes a lot, but it takes a monetary commitment, or it takes with someone like Coach Fowler a time commitment. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't show up like Italy Fowler, just like you just don't come out the womb like that. It takes work, and I think a lot of parents, I think it's the internet. The parents are thinking that the coaches are going to get them to that level. And then the coaches they're coaching the team plays and all this other stuff. And the coaches are expecting, if you want it, you got to do this work away from my practice. And I think that's a communication breakdown.
Or if the parents had the same mentality as you, invest into training and not so much of the actual playing basketball like AAU.
Yeah. Well, here's an analogy I use. I tell my daughters this. I say the training is the homework, and then the games and the AAU practices, those are the practice tests. And then I tell them that their senior year is the final exam. So that's what I'm telling them. That's the analogy I use with them to help them understand that, we got to do our homework. We got to do well at the practice tests. But then don't let it overwhelm you, because until the senior year, we just keep working and don't. It's not the end of the world, because my girls, they will get too hyped up over a game, and I'm trying to get them to like, hey, this game ain't the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? So because they'll treat every game like it's the end of the world. So,
tell them have fun. Have fun.
Yeah, have some fun. Well, here's the thing. I told them have fun on offense, but I told them you better. I'm crazy about defense, so y'all gonna Psycho Dad came out, Coach Fowler. Nadia let a girl run around her, and then when I did clips, I did a clip of Bugs Bunny with the Matador defense. When Bugs Bunny hit the Matador, and then I put the clip of the girl running by Nadia, and then I put Bugs Bunny with the thing, and I sent that to Nadia thought she was gonna get a clip of her highlight, and I end up sending her the clip Matador defense because I was like, don't you, come on now, you gotta hustle, you gotta move, But Mr. T. Lee, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all that you've done for the sport and what you continue to do for the sport. I know you love the game, so it's always good to have someone who loves the game, who's reffing, who's trying to control the craziness that's out there. And I truly appreciate because we need referees who actually love the game, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate what you continue to give to the sport. Any closing thoughts, Coach Fowler?
T. Lee, you know how I feel about you, man. I appreciate you coming on. I do read your perspectives. We do disagree on the Carmelo piece though, man. I'm a Melo fan, and you go hard at him, and I try to ignore those posts.
I'm with you, T. Lee. I'm with you. I'm with you. He's the most overrated player, probably one of the most overrated.
Y'all had to have that conversation on some other platform.
He's a great basketball player, but just not so much. Nothing really NBA-ish, but definitely great basketball career.
Yeah,
great basketball career.
Yeah.
But Coach Fowler, as hard as you play defense, and as hard as Italy plays defense, as hard as you play defense, how can you be down for a guy who didn't play no defense?
I don't know, man. The dude's just so smooth with it, though, man. It's just like he's out there playing half and getting just as much. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's weird to describe. And he got a little shot to him. I mean, he's a little bit of a shooter. I mean, he's got the 3-point record in the international game right now or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. The defense is a little bit sketchy, and you're right. I don't that part of it gets me. But I mean, I called it at Syracuse. When he was at Syracuse, I called it that year. I was like, yeah, they're winning the national championship before the tournament even started. Didn't know what place he was or anything. Just was like, yeah, I'm going to Syracuse. That Carmelo dude is cold blooded, and they ended up winning it. So. I
played a 2-3. That was
I mean, you know your personnel. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So, but they won it, and that's I've stuck with them ever since. But nah, man, I love reading your stuff, and I get a kick out of your despise of Angel Reese. But and I know why you like Kate, and I know why you like Caitlin Clark. So that's who he does like, Tony. He likes Caitlin Clark, but she's a sniper too. So.
Oh man, but my daughter kind of looks like Caitlin Clark, and that's why I get in my feelings when all my folks are talking bad about Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? Because then I kind of get in my feelings because you talking about somebody who looked like my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I get a little swole. You know what I'm saying? So I get really really swole because I'm like, man, don't take it out on Caitlin because of the knuckleheads that be rooting for her in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't her fault that she got some knucklehead fans,
Right.
I just love her game. And matter of fact, you think about it, she ain't done nothing stupid. She ain't said nothing stupid. She ain't done nothing stupid. She just been hooping.
She just played basketball. She's just playing basketball.
She just playing. They beating the heck out of her too, man. So I hope they get out of that phase, man. Let the girl play. So we can full season.
Bring y'all more. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into that. That's a lot.
Oh, you have T. Lee going in here tonight. I'll tell you that because I listen just reading his takes on this online, man. It's funny. But nah, man, we appreciate you, man, coming on, bringing a little Tallahassee, Florida to the show because a lot of our guests are mainly Virginia, so it's good to get somebody from the outside in and bringing your perspectives and everything.
It's our second referee too. It's our second referee.
Second referee, and you know what? I've seen that he referees, but I completely forgot when I was bringing him on, so I didn't even think to remind you or give you the heads up that he was a referee as well until he said it. So we were able to get a little bit of referee perspective.
He's our third Coach Tweedy refs too.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Okay, so
I always want to hear y'all's perspective, and it's good for me to talk to the referees on this podcast because then it shuts me up on the court. So I appreciate you for coming on, and we look forward to connecting one day when you come up to Virginia. We look forward to that shooting camp.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me. Coach, try to get that game going.
I'm on it, man. I'm on it.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right, now y'all be good.